Alrighty, so off to the gym. I want to talk a little bit about intermittent fasting. I get a lot of questions about it, and so I just wanted to answer it in one video, and someone asked me again, I'll just reference them here. So this is how intermittent fasting basically works. People ask all the time. So people ask, well, what is intermittent fasting? Basically, it's when you're not eating for a window of around 18 to 20 hours. In other words, you're only eating, the only time you're eating in a 24-hour period is between 4 and 6 hours. When you start out, it's going to be extremely difficult to do. So you probably just want to start off by skipping breakfast, and then having lunch and dinner. And then as you ease into it, then the next stage would be you get used to skipping breakfast, then you go off to pushing lunch back maybe a little bit later, an hour later. Be consistent with that. For some people, this is surprisingly easy. For others, it's just as surprisingly difficult. Really just depends on the person. And then you'll get to the point to where you can push back that lunch till around 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock, and now you're at dinner. And so if you can do that all day long, not eat. Now I know it goes against the grain, what everybody says, you know, breakfast is the most important meal, all this kind of stuff. Look, there's huge scientific studies out there that clearly show, plus you'll just feel it like as soon as you get used to it, which, you know, can take you 7 to 14 days. Once you get used to it, your mental clarity just goes up, and all of a sudden you realize all the time you wasted during a productive day breaking for lunch, breakfast, and little snacks, and how when you give your body and your digestive system a break during the day, you have so much more energy. So that's it. And then the next question is, people ask is, you know, when do you work out? And the best time to work out, there's a lot of science behind this, the best time to work out is right at the end of your fast. So right now it's almost 5 o'clock my time. I haven't eaten all day long. I'm going off to the gym. And the reason that that's really important to do that then is that it's proven to increase your hormones by up to 2,000%. All the good hormones, okay? Your human growth hormone, your testosterone, all the stuff that makes you feel alive, look younger, heal faster, all that good stuff. So, and you can really feel it too. So that's why. And the people say, well, when you work out and you haven't eaten all day, aren't you, you know, don't you tired? Aren't you gonna burn all your muscle? No, absolutely not. Just absolutely not the fact. All the supplement companies that want to sell you 2 or 3, you know, meal replacements and stuff like that, they want you to believe that you need to eat 4 or 5 times a day. Otherwise, you're going to lose your muscle. You're going to lose all your strength gains. They want to sell you that stuff. It's just not the fact, okay? We've probably, more than likely, for hundreds of thousands of years, didn't have food readily available. Probably had to go large stretches without food. And then we'd get our food and we'd have to really feast up. And it would make sense that we would be equipped to handle those long periods without food, and that it would heighten our awareness, make us mentally sharp and stronger and faster, so that we could go out and, of course, gather our food, hunt it, or whatever. Okay? It's gotta make sense. Plus you feel it right away. What else? So some tips and tricks during the day to get me through the day, also help with the mental clarity, is I will drink coffee until noon. I don't like to do it all day long. It gets me too jittery and it just doesn't help. So I usually have 1 to 2 cups of, maybe you've heard it before, kind of bulletproof coffee. Basically, I'm mixing some grass-fed butter and some organic cold-pressed coconut oil in there, and that's really does the trick. And I'll also have some krill oil as well. So I'm probably got about 150-ish calories in those 2 cups of coffee with nothing but really good fat. And that really helps with the mental clarity, helps with any kind of hunger pains that you have. And then from maybe around 3 until now, I'm fine now these days, but when I was first starting out, what can kind of help out is if you have some sparkling water. Now that sparkling water with no calories in it. That'll really help kind of fill you up. Look, you're still eating the same amount of calories. You're just doing it in a smaller amount. Now, of course, if you're overeating, you don't want to overeat and eat the same amount of calories. You won't even be able to. See, that's the thing. You won't even be able to, because when you just eat within a 4 to 6 hour window, you just really can't eat that much. But you do end up eating usually about your base calories that you need. And when you do that, your body digests it better. Helps you sleep better at night too. You wake up refreshed. It's just a win-win. I just can't imagine going back to breakfast, lunch, snack, dinner, maybe another snack. That just seems so just, even now, it's like we went out with some friends and we were a guest at their house. So it's pretty easy for me to skip breakfast. I just like, I'm tired, let's have some coffee. But then it was lunchtime, and I didn't want to be rude. So I had lunch, and then I had dinner with them. Man, did I feel full during the day. I was like, no wonder I don't do this. And so I really felt the difference, and it really slowed me down mentally in my body and stuff like that. So yeah, that's what else can I include with that? Yeah, that's pretty much it. You know, I've had people that have kind of followed me and figured it out, and I get people who email me and message me all the time on Facebook and or either through my support desk and say, hey, I haven't even gotten any coaching from you, nothing. I just kind of followed what the intermittent fasting. It's a lot easier than I thought, and I feel fantastic, and I don't feel hungry. I haven't gone on any extreme calorie diets, and I've lost, you know, people are saying, you know, I got people losing 25, 15, 8 pounds in just a very short period of time. And again, they're not starving themselves. This isn't a calorie restriction stuff. One of the things that you do want to watch out for, and I suggest that you play around with a little bit here, is you want to take a look at playing around with your macros. I played around with my macros. That's your carbohydrates, your fats, your proteins. I really do good. I'm 5'10", 167, 68 pounds, and I really do the best with about 100, 110 grams of protein a day. That's not that much compared to the typical kind of bodybuilding stuff. Again, protein supplement companies want to probably let you know you probably need more than that, right? It's in their best interest, maybe not yours. So. And I haven't seen any you know, muscle loss or loss of strength or any kind of nonsense like that. So that's where I feel good in. You kind of need to test with yourself, you know. And then as far as I found out surprisingly that my energy levels, my mental alertness just does so much better when I have like about 50, sometimes up to 70% of my total calories coming from good fats. This would be stuff like avocados, walnuts, grass-fed butter, grass-fed fat beef, sardines, and cold press organic olive oil, stuff like this. So some really good clean fats in there, and I just run a lot better on it. I just way better than I do off of any good even clean carbs. Now the challenge becomes for me, and I'm in a kind of I kind of dip in and out of what they call a ketosis state. Now, ketosis is really interesting. I should do another video on that. There's a lot of really good stuff. There was a podcast, a recent from the recording of this, of Tim Ferriss. He did it with a researcher, and it does some really great studies on how in a ketosis state it's proven that cancer cells cannot thrive. In fact, they die. When you're in a ketosis state, basically meaning that your body is burning off of fat instead of carbohydrates, not only does it increase your brain sharpness and the ability for your brain to think and work and function, but it makes an environment in your body that's impossible for cancer cells to grow. How amazing is that? And the research is clear. Really exciting stuff. Plus it's easier to lose weight and a whole bunch of other benefits too. But so that's something that even if you don't like being in a ketosis state, that you may want to consider doing it a couple months out of the year. just to kind of clean out your body, because we all have cancer in us. I don't know if you know that or not, but everyone has cancer in us. It reaches a certain tipping point and then it starts to take over. But right now your current body is able to keep a hold of it, keep it down to a certain level, and everyone's got it inside them. Kind of a scary thought when you think about it. But you come in and do a ketosis on here and you never know. You may find out, hey, I really like just kind of regularly burning more off of higher fats and proteins than I do carbohydrates and stuff. And one thing I've noticed is that it's like cravings go down, like zips, and you just feel full immediately, or you feel satisfied without feeling full. Of course, I count on my calories. My calories are totally up. In fact, you can eat more calories when you're in a ketosis and still lose weight. That's another thing. It's really quite amazing. But I think aside from the weight loss, aside from the mental awareness that it increases in you, the incredible amount of energy, is that one thing I think everybody should do as a protocol. Just my opinion, not medical advice, that you should think about doing, getting in a ketosis state, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 months out of the year, kind of cycle it out, just to clean out and just starve those cancer cells that are inside you, because we've all got them inside there, unfortunately, and you just clean them out, because they can't survive. They're like, we got nothing to eat, we got nothing to reproduce, and it actually kills their mitochondria, their energy, their source of energy, and their cells, and they end up dying off. That is a really cool thing, isn't it? At the same time, in a ketosis state, it increases your mitochondria's ability to produce the good energy, and you'll find yourself having a lot more energy. It's just some pretty neat stuff. So play around with your macros, see what you like about that, and I'd say the biggest benefits of that, when you do that though, however, with the challenge that I find when you're in that ketosis state, is making sure you're getting a lot of really good nutrition and minerals in there. So I really look at, when I am doing my carbs, what they end up being around 25%, 20-25% of my total caloric intake. It's got to be really rich, dense, organic, green, and bright colored vegetables. Really dense, good stuff. Lots of fermented food to help out with the gut, and that also helps out the brain and your functioning there, and your moods and everything as well too. But if you just go for like the protein and high fats, you're missing out on the high mineral contents, the rich stuff that's in live food. So you want to, really what you're looking at is good healthy fats, nice clean omega-3 type fats, good clean proteins, and even grass-fed beef when you can. That's really the best. And then as far as the vegetables go and the minerals, that's more like green juices, like green, like wheatgrass, kale, Yale. Get a juicer, Yale, kale, Yale. Anyways, that's probably enough for me now. I'm sitting out here in front of the gym. I should probably go work out, and I go home and have a nice meal. So I hope that answered any questions about internet fasting. You should definitely give it a try. Take care. Bye.